returning subscriber. You're kind of at a new angle today. The reason is, give me one sec, this lash is driving me up the wall. There we go. The reason you're at a different angle today is because you're actually on my iPad. I know, I recently invested in an iPad. I'm hoping that it will help me with my studies at university this year, but I'm streaming on it today. We're live from the iPad. It's a different setup. Do we like the quality? Is it better? Is it worse? Tell me your thoughts. This is an iPad 5 Air. Of course, I bought it because it's pink and because I felt like an iPad would obviously help me with my uni, which was the main kind of reason I was looking into getting an iPad in the first place. Anyway, off topic though, tell me your thoughts regardless on the new setup. Today we're going to be talking about empties. I'm going to be going through my 2024 end of year empties. As you might know, I do Project Pan every year, which is where I try and use up as much product as I can through the year. Obviously within reason, I'm not just using product for the sake of using product. I'm using product as I would use product, as everyone uses items. And it's kind of about being intentional with the items that you have and working your way through the things that you already have open before you open new things, or at least that's how I do it. Some people also do it differently, like they have certain goals, and I've done project pans with certain goals in the past, but this year I kind of had a bit more of an open look at project pan where I kind of, oh my gosh, I'm not wearing any lip product. That's wild. Give me a sec. I kind of just wanted to enjoy my products that I have through the year and let myself use them as we went through the year. So I just kind of like, you know, use my products as I wanted to through the year. But I did make some serious progress through many items and panned many things. So panning a product is like using it up. And here at the beauty space, we call it Project Pan, or like panning a product is like hitting pan, using it up. That's a brief little blurb about it if you're new to pan, but let's get into it. I usually collect all of my Project Pan items in this little Victoria's Secret train case. And when I go on holidays, I just dump out the entire train case and take the train case with me. But, oh my goodness, we have many items to talk about today. I'm going to get straight into it. First of all, I would like to talk about some face products. Most of these items are makeup items. However, I do have some toiletries as well in here. This year I used up, so I do part 1 and part 2. Part 1 will have been the first 6 months of the year, and this is the half of the end of the year. So the last 6 months of the year, these are all the items I used up. If you want to see part 1, check it out. It would have been in July. I would have uploaded it. Yeah, like July, June, July. But this is part 2. This is the end of the year. It's the roundup. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Maybelline Perfecta 4-in-1 Glow Makeup in the shade 01 Light. This is the primer, concealer, highlighter, and BB cream. This was good. However, it wasn't my favorite. I just found it a little bit too luminous, and I also found that this oxidized on the skin a little bit more than I would have preferred. Because of that, it's not my favorite. However, I do think that it was a nice texture on the skin. It just was a bit too glowy and oxidizing for me. So I will not be repurchasing this product. I would probably use this in future as a layering product. It was nice when paired with other foundations, like as a mix. I just found that it oxidized too much, and it had too much of a visible shimmer through it as well, which you might not mind. It didn't give a Tin Man look, but it was a little bit shimmery for my preference. So that was the first product that I wanted to talk about. Next, I wanted to talk about this one. This is the NYX Plump Finish setting spray with AVEC electrolytes mix. Honestly, this was a good setting spray. I do like the NYX setting sprays. However, my favorite setting spray from NYX remains the matte and the luminous setting sprays. This was a fine setting spray. However, it did not change my life. So yeah, it's fine, but I won't be repurchasing this one. I do think that there are better setting sprays at the drugstore, especially from NYX as well. Like, I really like their matte and their dewy one, and currently I'm still working my way through the marshmallow scented one, and that one's really, really gorgeous because not only does it have that enjoyable like NYX setting spray type finish where it really does last. I really do like NYX setting sprays. However, the marshmallow one also smells really nice, so this one just can't stand up to the other NYX setting sprays. Next I have, oh my gosh, this is so broken, but this is the Laura Geller highlighter. Let me find the lid. It's somewhere in here. Pretty much, this is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Highlighter in the shade Gilded Honey. This used to be a classic here on YouTube, like a very, very popular product back in the day. Mine is absolutely busted, as you can tell. It has been through the ringer. I love the shade of that. It's exactly the kind of highlighter that I would go for. We're a little bit too high up. What do you reckon? Is that going to stay? Yeah. I just feel like that highlighter is a little bit on the warm side, so if you do have a like neutral or cool undertone and you're on the lighter side of the skin tone range, it might show up as a little bit of like a goldy yellowy streak on you, and I know some people don't like that, some of my friends don't, but on my skin tone, as you can tell, I have a warm undertone. You know, I have more of that yellow hue to my skin, so a champagne or golden highlight doesn't look too harsh against my skin tone, and it doesn't look like a dark streak on my face. However, if you do have that lighter skin tone, especially with a cool undertone, that might be a bit contrasting on you. But I do feel like if you are my shade or darker, it's a really, really gorgeous shade. I really love that particular type of highlighter where it's just like a sheen, shimmery. I'm wearing it on my cheeks today. I'm using the final lick of it, and it's just that kind of like shimmer with no like discernible particles of glitter, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Really nice shade. You know, that champagne gold, it's exactly within that like Becca Champagne Pop type of family. It's a little bit more golden, I would assume, than Becca Champagne Pop, but definitely a gorgeous shade nonetheless. And I won't be repurchasing, but that's no fault of the product. It's just because there's a million other similar highlighters that I have in my collection, and so I don't feel like I need to repurchase when I have so many similar items. Next I have from GoTo, this is the Juicy Gel with Cucumber, Lotus, and Aloe. This is a soothing cleansing gel for clean, soft skin. I got this in a Makeup Beauty Loop box. I used it all up. It wasn't bad. It wasn't life-changing, however, so I will not be repurchasing it. It was a fine face wash, and it had a fresh scent. What else do I want to talk about? I understand the cleansing aspect of this. However, I don't feel like it was like as harsh as I would prefer. It was a bit more gentle, which is nice, but I think I want something a little bit more like heavy duty. This is really nice though. If you're not wearing any makeup, you just want to clean your face, it is a fine, nice face wash. Next, I've been using some more hair products than I would typically, and I've recently gotten into, I bought a Dyson this year, well, in 2024, so I've been doing things to my hair. So I've been using hairspray in ways that I've never really used hairspray before. I used to just use hairspray to like flatten down flyaways when I was doing cheerleading competitions. However, now I use hairspray to hold my Dyson Airwrap curls, because if you know, the Dyson Airwrap curls are kind of difficult to hold. So this is the L'Oreal Paris Elnett Normal Hold. This is a mini size in the 75 mils. This is like my go-to hairspray now, so this one's really good. And I've been going through the different L'Oreal hairsprays and trying them all out. None of them are bad. Some of them obviously hold more than others. This is the L'Oreal Elnett Flexible Hold. This one was good also. No problems with either of these. I probably prefer this one more because it has a little bit more hold to it. However, neither of these were like too stiff for my hair, and honestly I kind of like a little bit of stiffness. Like, I will overspray it if I do feel like I want a little bit of a firmer hold. Currently I've literally repurchased this same hairspray so many times. I'm currently going through a big boy of the Volume Flat Hair Stronghold. So this is a big boy of my current hairspray, but yeah, big fan of the L'Oreal Elnett. As you can see, it has been repurchased, so love this stuff. It's like a popular go-to of like so many people for a reason. Like, it's popular for a reason. Next, I want to talk about the Soap and Glory, the Righteous Butter Nourishing Body Lotion. I was so dry this winter. This winter, oh my goodness, the skin on my body was so dehydrated. So I used this up easily because I was just so dehydrated. This was nourishing. It was nice. It had that nice Soap and Glory scent, that like what's it called? The original pink rose and bergamot, our signature fragrance scent. However, not life-changing enough for me to repurchase when I have a bunch of other body lotions that I like to work my way through. Honestly, body lotion is just one of those items that I don't reach for very much, and I wish I reached for it more, but I just never seem to like pick it up. After a shower, I never feel like applying body lotion. I'm not usually dry during the summer, but in winter, as you can tell, I use that product up because I do need to use body lotion. It's just something I'm lazy about. Next I have, this is an item. I think I used this up either this month or last month, so I don't know. I feel like I talked about the Snow Fairy body conditioner in my last empties, but in case I didn't, I've been collecting, like, you know how Lush, you had the return program? So I've been collecting all these pots in my makeup bag to return to Lush. So yeah, I feel like it's old empties though, is that Snow Fairy and the pot of gold. Snow Fairy body conditioner, it's good. I would recommend it to a friend. It's just a moisturizing kind of body wash that you use in the shower, and you can kind of like moisturize your skin as you're washing it. The pot of gold was ancient. This is one of those shower jellies. I don't really love the scent as much, but it was gold and it was jelly, so I thought it was cool. That's why I purchased it. I've recently used up the orange shower scrub. I love this stuff. It literally smells like sweet orange juice. It smells like real oranges. It smells so citrusy. Sometimes if I feel like I smell bad, I want to scrub myself with something really fresh and zesty to cut through, I don't know, being stinky. This really did a really good job of like making me feel fresh and zingy, and I loved it, especially after work. It just really woke up my skin. I feel like this is such a nice product. It has the like sea salt scrub kind of vibe where it's like the salt is the exfoliator. So the scrub aspect of this, I don't feel like necessarily did that great of a job of scrubbing, but it was regardless a really good, like, I don't know, it was a nice feeling scrubbing regardless. It just wasn't like the best, most exfoliating scrub. I wouldn't use that to remove fake tan, for example. Like, you know, when you're exfoliating to remove fake tan, that's not the product I would reach for, but it is the product I would reach for to like clean myself. Next, this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love this. It's beautiful. It smells so good. It works on so many different skin tones because it's kind of like a neutral shade, and there are also within this shade range different colors. So you're more likely to find your specific shade, I feel like, in this range. It didn't used to be so good, but then they expanded this shade range, and I think it's pretty decent now. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments though. But this worked well for my skin tone. It smells so good. I have repurchased it already. I repurchased it like 2 years ago, so I would never run out when I was in Hawaii. So this is the old packaging. I'll show you the new packaging because the new packaging is kind of more sleek. Anyway, I have the new packaging in like the matte and the original finish, but yeah, old versus new. It's surprising that the new packaging, they did not make it more sleek because the product is honestly just one powder. Like, the size of the pan is that. So why does the product need to have like, you know, the little mirror underneath and this like thing that I never used? Does anyone have a use for these? Let me know if you have any ideas. Oh my gosh, it literally matches my hair. That's wild. Because I never use these things and they just go to waste. Any tips? But yeah, do kind of wish, I used to not mind it, but now I kind of do mind that it's a bulkier packaging, and I do wish that they'd repackaged it into something a bit more sleek. But regardless, I do think it's a bit iconic. Physicians Formula bronzers are just easy to use. The butter bronzer that I particularly chose is in the shade Bronze. Oh, wait, sorry. The shade is Bronzer, which is like the original shade they came out with. On my skin tone, it's a little bit too light. Like, it's not terribly light, but it's probably best for my winter shade. But that's kind of why I say it's like good for a range of skin tones. Like, this was for my lighter self, but I feel like they have darker shades that would have suited my skin tone better. Regardless, it's a really nice bronzer. Would recommend it to a friend, especially the bronzer shade if you are lighter than an NC20 at MAC. Next, I have so many things to talk about, guys. These videos get long, and this is going to be one of those long ones. This is, oh my gosh, I used up so many samples this year because I made an effort to go through my samples. I had a bag full of samples. I put them all in my bathroom. I sorted all the samples into the areas of my life where I would use them. So I put out all my face masks. I made an effort to go through all the face masks. So I went through a stack like this big of like little sachet face masks, sachet moisturizers, sachet shampoos and conditioners. I chucked in a couple of like travel size or like trial size products in here, but just know that I went through so many samples this year. I really made a huge effort to get through those products, and I think I will continue to make that effort in 2025. I'll talk about plans to pan at the end of the video for 2025. I was going to do it as a separate video because sometimes I used to do like, I want to pan these products, and I would show you an entire range of products that I wanted to get through. However, I no longer want to set goals like that for myself, just because I feel like I enjoy the freedom of like changing my mind through the year and like reaching for different things and just letting the products take me where I feel like it. Anyway, this will probably be something that's going to be used up in 2025. However, this is a Bambi lip gloss from Colourpop. Oh my goodness, I love this formula. It's that kind of like chubby packaging where it's like a little bit of a thicker lip gloss rather than like a thin stick. And it has the like, you know, wider doe foot applicator. It smells like chocolate oranges, but like very light. It's a light nude shade with shimmer. It's so wearable, so easy. Lays well with any neutral lip liner. This is definitely going to be used up in the next 6 months. You'll probably see it in my next empties. Anyway, going back to this, I'm getting so sidetracked. This is from the brand Make. I have never heard of this brand before. This is the Make Hydrate Shampoo. Intense hydration for soft and shiny hair. This was fine. It did not change my life. It was a good shampoo. However, I will not, like, this tester did not pique my interest in it. Sometimes, you know, when you try a tester and you're like, oh my gosh, that was really gorgeous. I'm kind of into this product. This did not make me feel that way. Something that did make me feel that way, however, was this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Collagen Super Fusion Facial Oil. This was gorgeous, and I would repurchase this product if I didn't currently have the Drunk Elephant oil at my boyfriend's house. And I think I have another oil that I've been using here, or like, I can't remember what my oil at my house is. Pretty much, I won't be repurchasing this because I have other oils in my life that I'm currently using and other moisturizers that fill this role. However, the Collagen Super Fusion Facial Oil from Charlotte Tilbury is super, super gorgeous. I would recommend it to a friend. It's very luxurious feeling. And also, this lasted me forever. I've had this sample for literally years, and I only got through it this year. And it's this big. So I genuinely believe, despite being a high-priced luxury product, if you purchase the full size of this, it would last. Because this little sample lasted me so long, and yes, I used it on and off, but I was pretty consistent with this for a couple of months, and for it to have lasted so long, I was very impressed. It also had a very luxurious scent, and I always felt luxurious when I put this on my face. For that luxurious feeling alone, I think this was a worthwhile product, and I do think this is, like, worth purchase. Another sample that I didn't enjoy so much, this one is from Dermalogica. This is the Daily Microfoliant. I used up multiple samples of this. I found this packaging quite like difficult to work with because I was shaking the product out of that tiny hole, and if any water got into the product or any moisture got into this product, it would get stuck inside the packaging, and it would be difficult to get the powder out from that tiny packaging. I'm not sure if this is just the packaging design of the sample or if the full size has this packaging design. This was a nice product. I will say it was a good exfoliant for the face. I would recommend this if you are interested in this. However, I'm not going to look to repurchase this just because the packaging was a little bit difficult for me, and also because I have other exfoliants that I'm currently using. So yeah, that's that. Next, I have this Barry M. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I used this up. This is so random. I used up the clickable eyeshadow in the shade Lustra from Barry M. Who uses up a matte blue single eyeshadow? Apparently me. Don't entirely remember how I used this up, to be honest. I feel like it would have been on some weird... What would I have been doing? I must have painted my face blue. I would have done something with this, because who uses up this much matte blue eyeshadow? So random. However, it was a good product. I can't believe I used it all up. I must have used it up when I did... I was going to say some sort of like... Sometimes I do body paint, and I'm assuming that's how I use this up. However, I don't remember doing it. What caused me to use this up? So many things can happen in a year. Somehow, the using up of this clickable eyeshadow from Barry M happened in the year. This was a nice eyeshadow. It had decent pigment. It was a nice pastel shade. Pastels can be difficult to formulate, and some pastels can be quite chalky or patchy. This did not feel like that. This felt silky. This felt smooth and satiny on the eye, despite it having like a, I think it was a matte finish. This was a really nice pastel blue eyeshadow. I would have used it for some sort of costume or something, and this would have been a necessary shade. So I appreciate you, Barry M, for having this random light blue shade as a single shadow, which was easy for me to purchase and easy for me to not destroy any of my palettes by crushing up an entire blue eyeshadow. You know what? I think I used part of this up in making resin. I used part of this eyeshadow color to color some resin blue. Well, there you go. I did use this on my face, and I did use this on my eyes at different times, though, and I do remember this being a nice eyeshadow. I would recommend clickable eyeshadows from Barry M to a friend. Next, I have a foundation. This one is the Rimmel Lasting Finish up to 25-hour Hydration Boost Hyaluronic Acid with SPF 20, 2% niacinamide foundation in the shade, drumroll please, 103 True Ivory. This was a good foundation. I felt like it was full coverage. It lasted well in the face. The oxidization was not too much. It matched well with my skin tone. It wasn't too difficult for me to find my skin tone at the drugstore. You might find different depending on your undertone or shade. I liked this foundation, and I think I have repurchased this in the past, and I would repurchase it in the future. Something I also enjoy about Rimmel foundations is they have a nice fresh scent to them. Something about the scent of a Rimmel foundation is quite fresh and it doesn't feel old and stagnant. It doesn't smell like grandma food. It doesn't smell like grandma makeup. So yeah, I like this. I also finished up from Rimmel's Lasting Finish range the matching powder. This one is in the shade 005 Ivory. This is the Lasting Finish Buildable Coverage Powder Foundation. Honestly, I layer the two, and I'm wearing this currently on my face. I used up the last of it today. Here is the pan. Dun, dun, dun. I feel like I'm showing off. I'm like, yeah, and here's the pan. And what about it? It was a good foundation powder. I liked layering it over other foundations. It mattifies well. It wasn't too cakey. It's a good shade for me. And yeah, it was nice and matte, and I have no issues with it. Wore well through the day. Set it down with some setting spray and Bub's your uncle. Irate. Next, I have a beauty blender that has a literal hole in it and stains all over it from like green, definitely for the bin. Next, I have this from Becca that I don't remember panning. I can't believe this happened in the past 6 months. I feel like I used this up ages ago. But this is Becca's Ocean Glow. This is actually a gift that I received from my friend Jess for my 21st birthday. This was gifted to me ages ago, and I enjoyed it for years. Last year I turned 25 and I used it up. So I used it for 4 years, this highlighter. It was a highlighter, I was going to say it was a split pan, but it wasn't. It was like one with 3 different shades, like a pink, a iridescent white, and then like a bronzer shade. And it had like a picture of a surfboard with a wave going through the back. It was really cute. Love the Becca packaging. How luxurious and gorgeous. Bring back Becca. I know it's not going to happen, but yes. There we go. I hit pan in Ocean Glow, another highlighter from Becca. Yeah. Love the Becca highlighter formula. You can now purchase it from Smashbox. My favorite shade is definitely just gonna have to be Champagne Pop because I'm basic. However, they do have some really nice other shades. I think I have Moonstone and Opal in my collection as well, but I've kind of pushed them to the back of my collection just because I've been using like, you know, other highlighters, but I think I'll get back into my Becca ones soon because they are really, really gorgeous, and I loved this. It was a little bit more difficult to use towards the end because, you know, the pink, I only wanted to use it with certain looks. The, like, iridescent, I only wanted to use it with certain looks, and the bronze was, like, you know, more of a summer shade. But in the end, it all used up, and loved it. Thanks, Jess. Really good 21st birthday gift. I love makeup. I love this. This was gorgeous. Thank you. Next, I'll talk about... there's a fluff on it. Skincare. This is an Emco Beauty Gentle Foaming Cleanser. I used up many Emco Beauty facial cleansers through the year. I'm just going on a rampage where I was trying to try every single face wash from Emco, just because face wash is one of those things that I use every single day. I always clean my face. I always use a cleanser. And so I was going through every single Emco cleanser. This one was nice. It foamed. It was a little bit more soapy. It wasn't as oily, so it was a little bit more like a traditional cleanser in that sense. However, I don't think it's my favorite. I just dropped a bunch of Lush lids. It's not my favorite cleanser that I've tried from Emco. The salicylic acid one with the pump is my favorite. It sometimes comes with a red lid if that's helpful to you at all, or a red pump. That's my favorite cleanser from Emco so far. And my other favorite cleanser for a makeup remover is the makeup removing balm that comes in the pot, and it's kind of the dupe of the Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing balm. Those are my favorites. This one is nice as well, and I definitely think this is one of my preferred ones from Emco. There are some that I don't, not dislike, but like don't like as much. However, this isn't my top rated one just because I felt like it was a little bit watery. When you pump it out, it comes out as like a foam, but kind of like the foam of when you know when you're doing the dishes and there's like a foam on top and it's like the bubbles. This comes out as the bubbles. Like that's the kind of foam this is. It's not foamy enough. It's not a dense enough foam. And so I don't feel like I'm getting quite enough cleansing product for a more satisfying clean. So that is why this is not my favorite Emco cleanser, but it's still up there because I don't know, I just kind of like the formula, but the pump kind of lets me down. It's also more of a liquidy formula, so that kind of contributes to the like foamy aspect being less dense. Next, I want to talk about a setting spray. This one's from e.l.f. This is the Matte Magic Mist and Set. This was a fine setting spray. It wasn't my favorite from the drugstore. I'd still prefer the NYX one over this, but no issues with this. Just a fine setting spray. Not life-changing, though. Life-changing, however, I always talk about this. Every empties, I feel like I'm talking about a Sunbum product, and this one is one of my holy grails. I've gone through many of these. This is the Sunbum 3-in-1 Leave-In Revitalizing Daily Leave-In Hair Treatment enriched with coconut oil, banana pulp and peel, banana leaf, quinoa, protein, and sunflower seed oil. This smells divine. This smells like the classic Sunbum scent. It's like caramelized banana coconut. It's divine. I would definitely recommend this to a friend if you're going to the beach. And you know when you go to the beach and your hair gets all like manky and yucky in the water and under the sun, it feels really dry and dehydrated, and then it touches some of your sunscreen and it gets all like slimy and like kind of like feels just wrong. I feel like this saves my hair every time I go to the beach or to the pool or any time that I'm out in the sun, getting some exposure to the SPF, or just like on a regular day where I'm going to be in the sun a lot, doing sport type things, or I don't know, just out and about. This smells so good. It's a leave-in conditioner. It makes your hair feel so silky smooth. It protects your hair from like the sea, the salt, the chlorine in the pool, whatever. It's just my favorite, and I repurchase it every time. I have heaps of these in my house because I will always use these, and I'll always repurchase this. Sunbum, please release more of your products to Australia. You can purchase this in Australia at like Priceline and stuff, and like surf shops and stuff like that. However, I do think that Sunbum should bring more of their products to Australia, because I know that in America they have skincare, and I really want to try Sunbum skincare because I love their hair care products so much. They're gorgeous. I love their sun care products as well. I always use their sunscreen, but this is so yummy, and I really sorry, I was just doing something. I really want them to bring more of their products to Australia. Sunbum, if you're watching, please. That's all I have to say about that. Next, I used up the Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced. I rarely use up mascaras. Do you want to know why? Because I'm always getting lash extensions, or I'm always using fake lashes. So it's pretty limited the amount of time that I go out and I'm not wearing either lash extensions or fake lashes, or I'm just wearing eyeliner and I've forgotten mascara. I always forget mascara. For me to have gone through this mascara, it's kind of a feat. So I'm very proud of myself for going through it, even though it's just a mini. As you can tell, it is all clumped up and dry. I really, however, enjoyed the brush of this mascara. It felt luxurious. It felt smooth. So much product comes out on the brush. However, this is like dry. Yeah, the consistency. Oh, why did I do that? The consistency of this product is like quite thick now. However, when it was wet, it was just like painting my lashes so thickly, so evenly. I don't want to say thick in a yuck way. I mean like evenly coating them with ease. I didn't feel like I had to scrub and get in there. It was just like slick, and it was painted. Really like the soft bristles on this brush. I feel like the brush shape is kind of similar-ish to the hourglass shape of the Better Than Sex mascara. I do recommend this to a friend. I think it's a good mascara, and I'm not going to repurchase it just because I have a bunch of mascaras to work my way through, and I never use up mascaras. Like, let's be real. 6 months and I've used up one mini. What a joke. But I would definitely recommend this if a friend was like, oh, I really think the Damn Girl mascara looks really gorgeous. I like the shiny geode of the packaging. I'd be like, yeah, well, it is a good mascara. And like, sure, you could get other mascaras that are cheaper that probably do almost the same thing, but it's really gorgeous. You'd probably enjoy looking at it in your makeup collection every single day if that's something that brings you joy, looking at this product, and you think it looks fun and interesting and you can afford it. I think it's a good formula. Go for it. That's my thoughts. It's just high-end as well, which is something that does put me off. High-end mascaras, there are a lot of like drugstore mascaras that are really good as well, so that's the only thing that like slows me down. Okay, I have some sachets. I didn't put all the sachets that I used up this year in here, but I just have a couple to talk about. This is the Frank Body Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Serum. This is nice. I really like this. It felt fresh and thin and clean on my skin, and I enjoyed it. Next, I have the Mecca Cosmetica Hydrating Moisturizer with Hyaluronic Acid again. This one was really nice. Luxurious, creamy product, no qualms. None of those are repurchases because I have like a bunch of skincare that I'm trying to work my way through. As you'll see, probably in future videos talking about my skincare or something. Next, I have the Malin & Goetz Replenishing Face Serum. Didn't really love this. I don't know. It didn't change my life. It was fine. And then this one is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation in the shade 390. This one is, I was like, is this the one that smelled odd? This one might have smelled funny. I'm not really entirely sure. I think this one had a little bit of a scent. I don't hate the scent, but I didn't love the scent. It just smelled a little bit like grandma makeup-y to me. However, it wasn't too strong that it bothered me once I was wearing it. It was just a little bit like, oh, when I was applying it. This one is obviously darker than my skin tone. It's very, very dark. It's literally 390. This I used as a contour shade or to mix in with my foundation to make it darker, or just to like, give a little bit more warmth to the parameters of the face. I do find this is a good formula to work with. It's easy, it's full coverage, it blends well, it's quite seamless when you're blending it. It doesn't separate badly on the skin or anything. Some oxidization, a little bit of a warm undertone, but no qualms. It is good. If this is your skin tone, I think you'll be fine. This was not my skin tone, so I didn't love it, but honestly, I do like the Pro Filter foundations from Fenty. I think they're nice. Next, I'm going to talk about some fake tans. These are 2 that I used up through the year. I probably used up more, but then I didn't save the packaging of all of them. I don't save all of the packaging from all of the skincare that I use up, just because I use up a lot, and these don't fit into my train case, and so it's less convenient for me to like hold on to these to show you guys. So these are both from Saint Tropez. I have here the Self Tanner Bronzing Mousse in the shade Dark, and then this one is the Self Tan Bronzing Mousse in the shade Extra Dark. I'm currently using I think the shade Light or something. I don't like that one as much. I like these ones more. Okay, so here's my reason why I like these ones. I find that these have a very, very natural shade on the skin. To be honest, my favorite fake tan that I've ever tried to this day remains to be the Bondi Sands Self Tanner. The reason being is despite it fading a little bit in a patchy way, like it kind of like, gets a bit patchy on the skin, I love the shade. It is so, so dark, and it brings me to a place that neither of these could ever take me. Even when I used the maximum amount of the Saint Tropez Extra Dark and this says, achieve your fastest, deepest, darkest, most natural looking Saint Tropez tan. Even when I followed the instructions to achieve the darkest tan, like left it on for the maximum amount of time, applying the maximum amount of tan, it still was not as dark as how dark the Bondi Sands Ultra Dark can take me. This, however, looks very, very natural. So I think it depends on what you're looking for. These ones cost more per bottle or per mil than the Bondi Sands Fake Tanner. So these are a pricier tanner, and I think that they look more natural on the skin. The actual color of these tanners and the undertone is more natural than the entire Bondi Sands range. However, these ones are just not as dark. Something about the Bondi Sands gets me that little bit darker that makes me feel a little bit more snatched. So if you're just looking for your darkest tan, like for a cheerleading competition, or that's what I'm doing it for, that's why I'm giving that as an example, but like, for maybe you do a bodybuilding competition, you want a fake tan for that, or something like that, I would not recommend this because it's just very natural. However, if you've got a formal, if you've got a wedding, if you have something you want to be classy and a very natural, real looking tan, I would absolutely recommend this. Also, I would recommend this if you don't like looking patchy, because this does not go patchy. This fades, and it fades naturally looking and seamlessly. I do not have any issues with this looking patchy or splotchy on my skin. It just very evenly faded until I was my normal skin tone again. So for that reason, I would recommend these to a friend. However, it kind of depends on what kind of tan you're into, because this is more of a natural tan, whereas the Bondi Sands is more like, let's go, girl. Yeah, each their own. I really do like these, especially the extra dark shade, because I like a dark tan. Like, let's be real, I'm here to be bronzed. The actual dark shade itself, no issues. It's still nice. And even the light shade that I'm currently using up still, no issues either. It just like still makes me tan, no problems. However, I'd like to be as dark as possible. So after trying all the shades, all of them, I do think that extra dark is my favorite shade from the Saint Tropez range. However, overall, I would still go for Bondi Sands. However, for my wedding, I would go for this. Does that make sense? Didn't even quote me on that though. Imagine if I got married and then I was like, you know what, Bondi Sands girl. Like, I might be that kind of a person. Who knows? I might be a different person. It's a very long way away. Okay, here's the lid for my Laura Geller highlighter. That's all. And then this is the Lacura Skin Science Caviar Illumination Luxury Anti-Aging Night Cream. This is one of the best products I have ever used in my life. This is such a holy grail. I would recommend this to a friend. The only reason I haven't repurchased this is because, one, it's really difficult to buy. They only sell this at Aldi twice a year at the special buys time. Aldi, what are you doing? Put this out all year. This is amazing. This is kind of a dupe of the La Prairie face cream from Aldi, but I believe it's better. And I haven't even tried the La Prairie face cream, but this makes me feel so amazing. When I put this on my face overnight, I wake up. So this is a night cream. I wash my face, shower, get out of the shower, put this on my face, go to bed. I wake up feeling so much sexier the next day. I feel so confident. I feel like my skin looks clean and clear and plush and rehydrated and fresh. And I just feel like I look better after using this face cream. I'm not kidding. I can notice a difference. This is my favorite face cream I've ever used, and when I wake up, I feel better. They have a day version and a night version. Regardless of them being day or night, the night one is better. The night one just has that little bit more hydration, and it's my preference. 100% night cream from Lacura, the Caviar Illumination range, all the way. 10 out of 10, I would recommend to a friend. I would repurchase this. However, I have not been lucky enough to be conveniently timed to be free when Aldi opens. Because when Aldi opens on the 2 times a year that they sell this, you better be lined up at the door because everyone runs in and they're all like grabbing things and they're all like, it's like a Black Friday sale type of situation, except it's just like Aldi special buys day. So these get snatched up really quickly. So I've never had the opportunity to buy it since, because I've not been to Aldi on special buys day since, but I would absolutely buy this again if I was free on Aldi special buys day and just went in to buy it. However, I'm also using up other face creams at the moment. I'm currently using up a mini of the La Mer face cream, so you can imagine I'm not in a huge hurry to go to Aldi and like hunt this down, because it's just like, it's going to be like 6 months before they put this out again. And also, I have a Charlotte Tilbury one that I want to use up as well. Like, there are other face creams that I want to try. However, so far, this is like definitely my favorite so far. Next, and also last. Is it last? Yeah, girl, this is last. This is the Maybelline New York Fit Me Plus C tint in the shade 03. This is a skin tint that I bought in Taiwan when I was there last. It has vitamin C in it. Obviously, I bought the shade 3, which is like the darker one of the range, I believe. This is released in Asia. I don't believe this is released in Australia. I have never seen this in an Australian store. However, I do think this is a really nice product. I don't find that it oxidizes too harshly on the skin. It does warm up a little bit, but not too much. I find this blends in evenly, does not get patchy through use. As many like tints and skin tints do. I do feel like this provides decent coverage. It doesn't become patchy. It doesn't wear poorly. I just really do recommend this. If you are in Asia and you're looking for a easy drugstore, affordable, easy to find skin tint that will just work, I would recommend this. And it's also like Maybelline. If you are a foreigner in an Asian country, this might be a more familiar brand that you recognize. However, also, I'd be someone who's like, oh my gosh, I want to try all the, like, I don't know, Korean skincare or whatever country you're in. But yeah, I liked this. It was good. I would recommend this. However, I won't be repurchasing this because I have other skin things that I want to try. But yes, that's the last product I wanted to talk about in today's empties. I hope you enjoyed this empties of 2024 part 2 wrap up. Now, I also want to talk a little bit briefly about my 2025 plan to pan. As I mentioned through the video, I don't have specific products that I am intending on panning. I do have plans to continue using products at a similar kind of rate, just when I feel like it, intentionally using up samples as much as I can and going through older products before opening newer products. So that's kind of my goal, just to use up products that have been sitting in my collection for a while. Yeah, there's no particular category that I'm intentionally going to work on more than others. I have a lot of setting sprays. I have a lot of lip products, lip glosses, I don't know, eyeliners. There's a bunch of things that I could go through, but I'm not pressed on any particular product. So I'm just going to let myself enjoy using my products through the year, and I'll accumulate the empties as I go to show you at the end of the year. But that is everything I have to talk about today. If you had any exciting empties of the year, something you're proud to use up, what was something you were proud to use up? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I upload twice a year my makeup empties, and I upload random things all through the year. Now that I have new technology, I'm going to be doing some editing on some backlog of vlogs coming up, which I'm very excited about. I'm hoping to drop some old Bali vlogs, maybe some old Hawaii or Japan vlogs eventually. So stay tuned, because as I have time to myself, I will eventually go through some old footage and edit things, even editing old hauls and stuff, and I'll pop them up as I go. So stay tuned for more content. Hopefully I am more active on this platform in 2025. It's one of my New Year's resolutions, so fingers crossed. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. I upload just whatever I feel like, to be honest. You can find me everywhere at Emily Titch 20. That's my at on Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Flickr, all the places. You can find me everywhere. Visco, you know the stuff. And I'll catch you next time. I do appreciate you watching this video here with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.